It kind of starts when in 2005, I was a co-founder of MTV Games, which was really built to take advantage not only of existing IP we had, but look for original IP. And I had a friend of mine who headed up a studio out of Cambridge, Massachusetts called Harmonix. And they had been messing around with interactive music applications for, at the time, like a Mac. And they were trying to do more with that and try to make music an interactive medium. And he finally, he came to my office in 2005 to show me, we had just announced MTV Games, and he came in and he had this little satchel, looked like a violin case, and I had to ask, what's in the case? And he brings out this little plastic replica of a Gibson SG. He says, we're working on this prototype called Guitar Hero. I'm like, well, that's interesting. I remember hearing about Guitar Man was a coin-op game out of Japan. And
does your friend live in a castle now? I mean,
but I had a machine that allowed me to play games that were not yet finished, and this was being developed for the PlayStation 1. So he put it up, and I played it, and forget about me being a musician, I have never felt something so intuitive and so primal, meaning I could feel what I needed to do, and I was playing music, even though I wasn't. I felt I was playing music. So right there and then, I'm like, this is different. And I asked him, like, do you have a marketing partner for this? And he's like, well, we're with a very small publisher named Red Octane out of San Francisco, and they don't really have the marketing budget. I'm like, well, let us be the marketing partner. And that's where we started. And right at that time, I had a boss who really was aggressive and wanted to look at acquisition. And I told him, I was like, you should acquire Harmonix. They represent everything we do. We're about music, well, we're supposed to be, and this is what these guys are focused on. Guitar Hero comes out, it explodes. When I say explodes, they cannot make enough hardware.
I remember.
Which is great, awfully dangerous at times too. And we somehow convinced senior management to acquire Harmonix, and by doing that,
I did not know that MTV owned Guitar Hero.
Well, we didn't own Guitar Hero. So Guitar Hero, the IP was owned by that small publisher. Activision came in and acquired that publisher. So they pretty much owned the IP. But Harmonix, in their mind, were thinking, well, Guitar Hero is fun. We want to make the ultimate band game. And they were working on what became Rock Band. And that was wholly owned by Viacom at that time.
Wow, I didn't know that. That's a neat story. It's a game that was owned by basically a broadcaster.
Yeah. Yeah. And, when you enter the video game business, it does not have the favorable margins that you have for advertising sales, right? You got to have a strong stomach. For every game you produce that's a hit, there's probably 10 that are dead, right? So it's not for the weak of heart. Ultimately, Viacom did not feel it was equitable for their business, and they wound up selling it off. But not before we had an amazing run and we put out some amazing product, including I had a chance to work with the Beatles, which not many people can say they had a chance to do that. We put out a Beatles version of Rock Band, which was, to say it was a labor of love would be the understatement of the year.